What is up? What is up? What is up? Man, anybody that came in here a little bit earlier, I apologize. I made a mistake and hit that live button and we wasn't live, but it's 7 o'clock and we are live. The guests will be in here in a little bit and we'll get started. You know how we do. Wait for a couple people to get in and then we go from there. You know what I mean? We just go wait for a couple people get in here, and then we go from there. But directly after this live, directly after the live at 8:15, it should be 8:15. We got another live. It's gonna be myself, it's gonna be Joe, and it's gonna be JP Buffett, Darius Jamal, and Chad Money Minute. So you don't want to miss that one. You do not want to miss that one. We got Woodsy in the house. My dog, appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you for being here. Like I say, I apologize for starting the live a little bit earlier today. Mess around and hit that live button, and they it's not forgiven. They do not let you stop it. Like they do not let you stop it. Yeah, man, I'm getting I'm not getting a new Galaxy Watch. I ain't getting a new Galaxy Watch, but I'm definitely getting the Buds. They delayed the shipment, so I'm not getting them until they actually supposed to be here the day before the freaking no, they shipped the day before the meetup. John coming in with the $2 spot. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Like I say, everybody don't want to miss this one. Special guest, we have worked together before, but he has never been in this hot seat. Joe Barreto has never been in this hot seat. But you know how we do. We wait for a second, get a couple people in here, and then I'm gonna bring Joe in. When I get him in, we go get it popping. What y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? Friday night. I was saying we got another live directly after this. Myself, Joe Barreto, Darius Jamal, Chaz Money Minutes, and JP Buffett. 8:15. We go switch right from here to over there with them guys, and it's gonna be ask me anything on top of some topics that we want to go over. Was you got both? You got the Watch Ultra? Man, you spending all that big money. You spending all that big money. Your Buds came already? That's crazy. That is crazy. But you know what? Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and just introduce the guest. You know what the crazy thing is? Like I say, we worked together before, but the thing is, this is gonna be different, like I say, because he's never been in this hot seat. Like he has never been in this hot seat. But without further ado, this dude is a Bronx legend. He politics with politicians. He gives advice to CEOs. It is Mr. Webpa himself, my dog, Joe Barreto.
What's going on, mi gente? How you doing?
What is going on, man? How you feel about that introduction?
Bro, I'm flattered. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm nervous because I'm not stupid. And I know I've seen these. And I'm going to be honest with you. I came prepared. I got my retirement goodbye tension, hello pension cup with my Ciroc. And we're ready to rock and roll, kid.
Ready to rock and roll?
Ready to rock. Salute. Salute, my brother. And for your crew to know, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Before we jump in, the
shirt. Huh?
The shirt.
Got on the SledgeIncTeam merch?
Absolutely.
That is what I'm talking about.
The separation is in the preparation, baby.
If they didn't already know, they know now.
If you don't know, now you know.
For sure. Hey, look, first thing I want to do before we even get into any of this, I want to congratulate you for crossing that 4K subscriber mark, man.
Thank you.
It's
My
a hard
brother,
grind, man.
it was like clawing. I feel like The Walking Dead, where they're like stuck in the mud. That was me. I was just like,
It is
damn.
a hard grind, man.
People
But
that think it's easy don't know what the heck they're talking about
hey,
because
listen,
it
anybody think
ain't
that this
easy.
thing is easy getting in front of this camera and you know
Nope.
what I'm saying, trying to be creative with this thing, they don't know what they're talking about, man.
But thanks to you, thanks to Sledge, thanks to Calvin, Anthony, thanks to Chad, thanks to you guys that put me on. I can't thank you enough, man. That it
Hey, look,
really it
we
makes
pull
my
each
life
other up,
a hell
brother.
of a lot better, kid.
For sure. Look, I know most of my subscribers probably know you, but for the people that don't, tell them about Joe Barreto. Just give yourself a slight introduction.
All right. What's going on, Woodsy, Xavier, John? Well, my name is Joe Barreto. I am from the Bronx. As I like to say, I live in Jersey, but I'm from the Bronx. 57. I think you guys have said I'm like the old guy doing this, but you know, the hair's still there, so I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'll still take it. But I'm honored to be here. I have my channel, The Credit Card Connection. Started this to help out those that don't know much about credit. A lot of my former students from East Harlem in New York, and just giving back. And this is how it started. What started off as a off the bat hobby while I was sick just blew up, and now it's been great. And I see the man, the myth, Chad's Money Minutes in here. I see oh, look at that. Edgar's in the house too. What's going on? But you know, I'm honored to be here. I love to be a part of this community, and I look up to you guys because you guys just do it from the heart, and that's what it's all about. So I appreciate you.
Now, the way 20 questions with Sledge works is I'm gonna ask you some questions, some credit card related, some not so much.
Fair
The
enough.
whole goal of the thing is for the viewer to get to, you know you and have a conversation that doesn't really involve the chat. We'll bring the chat in from time to time, but
Okay.
it's more about them getting to know you. So if you're ready to get into it,
let's do this.
all right. Now you wear a Superman ring emblem.
Yep.
And you also have an emblem on your chain.
Yep.
What is the significance of that emblem?
So my dad was always my Superman. And when my dad became ill and passed away at the end of 2019, right before COVID, at his wake, I had a Superman cape. I folded it up, and when we closed it, I buried him with the Superman cape. He was always my Superman. So when I was working, I was, joking with my students and saying, I would love a tattoo with Superman on my arm, but I'm too much of a punk and it's going to hurt. Right. So when I retired, I had a retirement party, and I have 40 of my former students from way back in the 80s to now come through along with my family and friends. And the money they collected, I was able to make this.
Wow.
So I had my jeweler make it. It has 400 sapphires and diamonds. And then I had a bracelet my father had found for me back in the 80s. He was a bus driver, a gold bracelet. And I never took it off. I always sleep with all my jewelry. I sleep with everything. I don't take anything off except for this because this chokes me at night. But so I lost the bracelet in St. Augustine. I was at dinner with my cousin, and in old St. Augustine, it's these cobblestone streets.
Right.
And I'm at dinner with my cousin, and I start running to where we were a half hour before. And it's a Saturday night. It was packed. I get to the store, and the guy goes, "You okay?" I said, "Listen, did anybody find a gold bracelet with onyx?" They had like strips of onyx. Sledge, when I look at the floor, in between the cracks of the cobblestone was the bracelet.
Wow.
And the guy goes, "You understand there were thousands of people coming through here since you left?" I said, "Yeah." So I took that bracelet, took it back to my jeweler, who then made my ring to match.
Dope.
He said, "Look, I can melt it so that you don't have to worry about it falling off again." And that's why I wear this. So my dad, even the lion card that I made with Superman that you saw, that's for my dad. So my dad has always been that, and that's what the significance of it is for me.
Oh man, that's fire, bro.
Thank you.
That is fire.
Thank you.
Man. Now, it's a question that I've asked every single person that's been up here. What made you get in front of a camera and start making YouTube content?
So back in December 2022, it was Christmas time, and I got COVID again, and my wife, and we always celebrate Christmas Eve more than Christmas Day, and we couldn't get together with the family. So I was miserable, and I started watching these videos where, I just put credit cards, right? Because I literally had just JetBlue, a Disney card, and United card, and that was it. And I see Ben Hedges. Then I keep, and then they start throwing you stuff, and then I see John Liang, then I see Sebi, and I'm Daniel Braun, and all these guys, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't see anybody that kind of looks like me. It's or Puerto Rican, Spanish, whatever, because I was only getting certain things thrown at me at that point.
Right.
So that night, I'll never forget. It was the week before Christmas on a Friday night, and they were talking about the platinum card. And I applied for the platinum card at midnight. And I said, I'm never going to get this because I didn't know anything about anything.
Right.
And as soon as it said, would you like to add another authorized user? I was like, bet, I'm in, right? And then that started. So in February, 2 months later, I did my first horrific video that I've never taken down. It's still up there. I did it using my cell phone. No lights, no mic, no nothing. I thought it was easy. I was like, oh, these people could do it. I could do it. Bro, it was not easy. It was like I had the lighting from my ceiling coming down. I looked like a clown. I didn't know what I was doing or saying. I was reading crap off the internet. It was horrible. But I've always been able to speak in front of people. So this doesn't intimidate me. Never has. I've done the politics. I've worked in schools. And if you could deal with thousands of kids in an auditorium in East Harlem, this is a cakewalk. There's not, So that's how come I'm comfortable. I'm able to give back to my students that still to this day look for me to help for advice. Last Saturday night, and I think you'll find this interesting. I went to 2 school reunions for my students. Class of 99 that celebrated the 25th. I went to Long Island for the first part of the day, drove to the Bronx for class of 2004's 20th reunion, and I was there till 1 a.m. So your boy was, hanging out with a bunch of young people, but it was fire, bro.
Right, for sure. Man, listen, some of your first videos were in English and then also Spanish. Being that you bilingual, what made you switch to strictly English videos going forward?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up. Part of it was twofold. And I'm gonna be, I always tell you, I'm straight up honest up front. I started talking with Cesar Joel and Angel Torres. We did a few collaborations together. And I noticed I can speak Spanish and I'm fluent to a point, but it's not my primary. I have to think first in English and then do the translation instantly in Spanish, right? So I'm doing the videos and they were doing well, and I was helping people and being able still to relate. But then I see that the numbers never came in high on the Spanish videos because the algorithm, it was killing me. It was killing me. So I don't know how it was being thrown or how they were doing it, but they weren't doing well. Then I realized, and I'm going to give him all the credit, Caesar's a beast.
Yeah.
And again, I'm blessed that I'm fluent in both, but my strength, I can better relay stuff and be more emotional in the English than I can the Spanish. So I made a conscious decision, and I spoke to him, and he advised me. He goes, open up a Spanish channel. And I have a channel literally called Hola Mi Gente that's just there. It's ready to go.
It's ready.
But I haven't put anything up because of two things. This is not easy to do the ones in English. It was extremely exhausting. I would do the same videos twice. I wasn't doing captions. I was literally doing literal translations. And it was hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It was really hard. So, then I said to myself, I got in this to help the people in English and Spanish, but I got a man there that I know is doing the right thing by the people in Spanish.
Right.
So why stress myself when I know he's got it? So we've still done collaborations since. I do respond to people in Spanish online. And when I'm during my lives, I read comments in Spanish and respond in Spanish. So I haven't alienated that, and eventually I will go back to it. But I need to really learn and fine tune how to do things without knocking myself out. Like, I still don't know how to really do a lot of great thumbnails. I don't know how to do editing. I don't know. I do things with my phone, my iPad. It's a nightmare. I have to download it to then AirPlay it to the phone, to then AirPlay it to the iPad, to then upload it to YouTube. It's like 1,000 steps before a 10-minute video, So that's why I stopped. And I stopped also because I wanted to give people my best, and I knew I wasn't giving them my best. Straight up.
And look, first of all, big shout out to Caesar. And the second thing is, Joe, get a laptop.
And I do. That's the thing. I would show you, but I'd pull the wires. I actually have my Mac that's a Superman logo on it too for a MacBook. I just do. You know what it is, Sledge, and you know this better than anybody else. The software doesn't translate the same from a phone to an iPad to a laptop. They're different things on how do you use them, and I just, I'd rather use my little fat chubby fingers to swipe on a phone than to do it on a laptop.
Hey, look. We are, like I said, one thing that you said earlier was that things not as easy as it looks, right?
Nope.
So can you share some of your biggest challenges that you face, when you start out as a creator? And if you could start all over, what would you do differently?
First and foremost, anybody listening to this, and I'm sure, especially in the comments here and whatever, but I made the grave mistake of thinking that reaching out to Google was going to be a big help. So I was paying through the nose to learn how to do what they said was SEO. I didn't know what the hell that was. And they were like, well, we'll run this for you. We'll run this ad for you and it'll help. And I didn't know what that meant. Come to find out that, okay, I have 5,000 people watching, but 5 seconds of it.
Right.
And I said, what am I doing? So it wasn't literally until 6 months in that I started seeing you guys. And I saw the interactions you guys were having. And then when I did my first collaboration live with Anthony on his channel, that then I learned in talking to him. And then I said, wait a minute, what have I been doing wrong? I've been pouring out money. So for me, the issue was never the number of subscribers. I got to 1,000 quick because my students came through like a champ. If I asked them to jump off the building head first and I was going to catch them, they trusted me to do it. So they came on. That was not an issue. My issue was watch time hours.
Right.
And that's where it took forever. I'll never forget. I did a live in December, my first one. And Chad said, yo, where's your super chats? What? I said, what is that? What is a super chat? I didn't know what the hell that was because it wasn't available to me.
Right.
So I would just tell people a 10-minute or 15-minute video can take you 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're really comfortable and you're doing things the right way, yes, that's what it's going to take. Because you have to think of it. You have to put it together. You got to, and then here's my weakness. I don't edit my videos. I literally start and go. So I never, if you look at any of my videos, there's never a stop, a cut, a clip, nothing. I'm all in, good, bad, or indifferent. Right. So if I and sometimes they come out great, and sometimes I'm like, ah, crap. But That I don't like cutting and this and that. I just talk, and I could talk forever, bro. So that's
Yeah.
easy for me.
Hey, when you go on, not you, but in general, when you go onto a video and you see somebody, they have 10,000 views on a video, and then they got 2 comments, 3 comments. That's what it is right there.
Those are
Like
bots.
you know what I mean? Like the people are watching it for 1 second, a half a second. You know what I mean? Because they
And you
came
know
for
what?
that ad, for them to put those ads out.
You know what it was, Sledge, that I didn't know anyone doing this.
Right.
My nephew has a huge podcast, but he has a group of 4 people. And oh my God, thank you so much, David, for that compliment. Um, they have 4 people and they're young. They're in their 20s. I'm 57. I started this when I was 56. I'm like, bro, baby steps. You know what I'm saying? And it took the baby steps. I was crawling, I was walking, and now, not for nothing, but I could run.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
comfortable. I put myself up against anybody. But like I tell everybody that my father taught me, I'm not better than anybody, but nobody's better than me.
For sure. For sure. Hey,
So
look, as for goals for your channel, what are some of the long-term goals that you have, or do you want to keep it in the same direction?
I want to always keep it real.
Oh, for sure.
I want to always be honest. I want to be creative. I want to, we don't have to agree on what I say, let's say, but like you love to say, is your opinion, right? Is my opinion. I made a promise to myself that I was only going to talk about the products and the cards that I have and use, not the not making stuff up or just Googling something and saying, oh, this gives you 4 times, this gives you 3 times, or Danny the Deal sent me this. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be creative. And again, I'm not going to wow you with my with my special effects coming from the sky, blazing behind me and stuff. I'm not going to float. No, I'm going to do an overlay with my fingers. I'm going to pinch and zoom that. And you might get a credit card behind me and some, B-roll, but that's it. And
That's it.
I'm okay with that. But I've always been more, and David said it here perfectly. And David, I thank you for that. I've always been that storyteller. I can talk. I can break it down. I can put people at ease. I can explain, and that's my strength. I was a journalism major. I wanted to be a TV news anchor and reporter. So this fell right in my wheelhouse. So when I go to the banks, I take my notepad and I take notes so that I can ask the questions and get the answers I want, And if they don't want to give me the answer, I go around it to figure it out, So
Hey, we go get into that, man. We go get
okay.
into that. I don't sleep on nothing, man. We go get into that. But check this out.
I'm ready.
Your very first video that you ever made was titled "It's Not Magic. Increase your credit score."
Right.
Now, pretty much a lot of people that's in this space start off making videos about increasing your credit score, FICO credit scores, and things like that. What made you sway away from that type of content and go all in on credit cards?
So I did that video because when I got into this, and I've said this on other lives before, when my dad was literally dying, he would joke with me and say, "Why can't my credit score be 800?" And I didn't know the answer. And it was like 790. And the thing was, he had opened up a Lowe's credit card or Home Depot. They gave him a $5,000 credit line. He bought a refrigerator for $2,500 and he was at 50% utilization. I know that now. I didn't know that in 2019. So I did that video for my dad in that vein, like thinking of him, because if I knew back then what I knew now, I would have just told him, Pop, you could go to heaven and rest easy, but if we would have just sent them whatever, because he had it in the bank, but he was like, all right, papi, why should I use my money from the bank if they gave me no interest for a year? Which I get.
Right.
You know, when you get those signups that they're giving you interest free for you to pay back, he figured, what the hell? I'll just pay it back monthly and send them $400 a month or $300 a month, and I pay it off. So in his head, I got it, but he didn't know that was killing his utilization, and his score never got to 800. It got to 790, and he was besides himself. So that's why I did that video. And you know what? I see people like water your soil. Nell is a master at that.
Right.
For me, Nell has that gift where he could put it together different ways, week to week, explain it, bring different information out on it. But for me to do this, it has to move me. And to be honest with you, that topic just didn't move me enough. It moved me at that moment because of my dad and my sentiments. But I don't think I could do that finance part of it week after week after week. It's just not in me. I'm not going to make it exciting. I'm not going to make it interesting. And if I'm not interested, if it doesn't excite me, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I feel that, man. You know what? I always say that one thing I always say is when this thing starts feeling like a job, then I'm gonna stop doing it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna do anything that I don't want to personally do. So,
now, can I share this with you for a sec?
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned a job. I always said I had the best job in the world, working with kids and working in the school that I did and where I worked for how many years? 34 years. I just applied to work in a local high school here on a part-time basis to do parent outreach for mental health. And I had to change all my licensing from New York and try to get it through Jersey, because I miss it. And that was, God gave me that gift where I was always able to make that outreach, to make that connection with kids, and I miss it to the point that I want to, I want some of it back in my life. And now, thank God, it looks like I'm going to start in September doing it again for at least 5 to 10 hours a week to help the people here in town.
Right. Hey, look, that's a job, but it wouldn't work for you though. You know what I mean? Because you like doing it.
100.
So it's a big difference.
Yep.
Like it's a big difference. Now, about a year ago, you made a video titled, "Is this the best business credit card for your business?" That video got 25,000 views. Why do you think that video did so well? And did you expect it to do that well?
So here's the full, disclosure. That was the video that Google pushed for me. It ran for a month. The ironic part was when they stopped, I was at about 15,000 views. I guess at that point, I already done other videos and kind of met the 1,000 subscribers. And then people started gravitating towards it. But to be honest with you, that was one that the one that they literally told me, don't run anything else. And they ran it. That cost me $500.
You know what? Because the reason what made me ask that is, as important and interesting as business credit cards are, they just don't attract a lot of traction usually.
No one watches them. Sebi had to open up a second channel.
Right, exactly. Like
because it was killing his primary channel.
Yeah.
So I hear you. Yeah. I feel you. And that's why I don't lie. I'm going to be straight up with you. People are like, oh my God, no, I know exactly what happened. I had no idea how things worked. They would tell me, we're going to push it in the States. We're going to push it in Puerto Rico. We're going to push it in Canada. And I didn't know what the hell they meant. I thought that's what everybody does. Especially because YouTube is owned by Google. If I figure, okay, I guess this is what people do. Not knowing anything, bro.
Right.
So that is straight up the 100% answer.
Wow.
Thank you, Xavier, for that. Thank you, Juan.
Now, how many business credit cards do you have? And which one is your most used?
Okay, great question. So I'm gonna have to just count them out loud for a sec. So Amex, I just canceled to Business Gold. So I'm doing a video on the cancellation of that one. But I had that one, the Marriott Bonvoy Business, the Blue Business Plus, right? Then I have the Wyndham Business Earners. I have every Inc card from Chase, including 2 Inc Cash and the Inc Preferred and the Inc Unlimited. So it's what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 cards I have, business cards.
That's a decent amount.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what's helped me with my utilization the way it is, my credit score being high, because the way it worked out was for every card I opened that was personal, then I opened up a business card and I alternated. So I was never really taking a hit. And I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't been denied yet.
Right.
So I won't apply if I think I'm going to get denied. So like I haven't applied for a Capital One because I know they're going to give me, grief.
Right.
I don't want to get the saver for whatever credit. I want the good stuff. So I'm going to wait.
Hey, the first thing is I want to give up a big shout out to Sean for just paying off all his credit cards. for sure.
That's a giant wepa, Sean. That's how you do it.
And look,
God bless.
And Philmo had a great point. People don't understand business credit cards, man.
They don't.
A lot of people don't understand them, man. You know what I mean? We have too many so-called gurus out here giving information that they shouldn't be giving about business credit cards.
Sledge, I learned a lot of the business part when I was applying. I never opened up a business card until I literally had an LLC that I started. Yeah, and I learned all those things because of my wife. She taught me when she did her business. I saw her suffering doing all this stuff. And I saw how she did the formation, how she did the LLC part, how she did the registration, how she did all the banking. So I did everything in order the way it should. And I only use it for what is the business, be it a new cell phone, because that's what we live and die with, right? The laptops, the iPads, the cameras, the SD cards, the internet, the lighting, you name it, all this stuff behind me. That's all stuff that I use for the business card. I don't like when I see people going, yeah, they don't really check, or they don't this, or they don't that. Right. No, it's called a business card for a reason. That's how come when people are like, well, why don't you get the platinum business? Because I don't have that spend to put on a platinum business. Right. What for? And I also don't want another $700 bill for a card that just for me to flex and say, look, I got a platinum business. Big deal.
Nah.
No, so.
Nah. You know what? I'll tell you what, and I've said this before. When I applied for the Hilton business card with American Express, they asked me for 4 months of business checking statements.
Wow.
Yeah, they asked me, and not just checking statements, business checking statements. I had them to prove because I have 3 business checking accounts, but yeah, they asked me for those statements, and they weren't going to give me that card. And if they didn't give me that card, keep in mind, I already had business cards with them. So if I couldn't prove that I actually had a business, where would have had it went from there? You know what I mean?
And that's why I opened up a business checking with Amex. I opened up a business checking with TD Bank.
Yeah.
I keep things separate.
Yeah, me too.
I do my best. I'm no angel. That when you're meeting a sub, you got to meet the sub, right? Yeah, right? It is what it is. But I do my best to keep it separate. When I fly, if I'm flying by myself to handle business, I put it on the Business United card. If it's personal, I put it on the personal United card. That's,
That's that.
Yep.
Look. Now on the flip side, how many personal cards do you have? And which one is your most used? Which one is your least used?
Okay. Well, I didn't even answer. To me, my favorite business card, the most used, is
Okay.
a tie, the ink cash and the ink preferred.
Preferred?
Yeah, the preferred, because I was getting, before I got the green card, they gave me more on the travel. So on the tolls, the parking, and all the other stuff, I was getting 3 times. And that was a no-brainer for me with that. And when I signed up for it, I got the 100,000 point, whatever it was, bonus. But I end up using that card more. And I also have a pretty decent credit line with it. So for me, that and the in cash, actually the in cash is probably the best because I have 2. I did one as a sole prop and one as an LLC. But the sole prop I did was to buy the t-shirts and stuff and keep that on that card separate, so that I know that's the merch that's going to come out that I had to order and stuff like that. So I have that specifically for that. So now personal, oh my God, personal cards.
Yeah.
I have.
You got a lot of cards, Joe.
17. And the least used, easy peasy. Disney Visa, they could kick rocks. I told Calvin the other day, bro, it is the worst card out there because you get Disney bucks, Disney rewards bucks. Even Chad Pennycuff doesn't want that, So it's just like, it's horrible. It's trash. Right? That's what that is. Best card. Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. For me, for travel that never leaves my wallet, is the platinum card. That's just it. The platinum can do no wrong for me. It gets me the car rentals. It gets me the extra multipliers on flights. It gives me the protections. It gives me the lounge access. And I think, even though they don't tell you, I think I have like a $75,000 up to line on it. So if I'm ever, being held hostage and they tell me, yo, give me 50 G's, bang, you could knock yourself out. However, recently, the card that I've used the most has been the City Strata Premier. And I bow down to Caesar Joel for that one, because he's been on me from day one, but I got it in May. I already have almost 90,000 points. I already met the bonus because of 3 times dining, 3 times supermarkets. I moved everything over from the Chase for my personal, like my Easy Pass for the car and all that other stuff. And here the toll is like $18 for 1 pass of the bridge.
Jersey.
3 times. It's a monster. So that right now is probably my most used card. And right behind it, and I already met the bonus on it, but I'm going to be honest with you, the Wells autograph card is a solid card.
Yeah.
So
3 times points on everything for the most part.
So I'll take it.
Now, can you tell us about a card that you have that nobody talks about really, but you get a lot of value from?
Yeah. So for me, well, people kind of every once in a while will bring it up, but they'll bring it up for the wrong reasons. It's the Wyndham Business Earners card. Because what people don't understand is that you have access not only as a diamond status with Wyndham, and maybe in the States, Wyndham isn't held in the same regard as, the highest of, the Marriotts and the Hyatts or the Hiltons. But I went to Switzerland and they gave me the suite. They gave me champagne in the room. They gave me baskets. They treated me like royalty. And this is a $99 business card that also gives you status with Caesars, diamond status with Caesars, which then covers Tropicana, Harrah's, and then it also gives you the access to 4 nights in the Bahamas for free. Bro, For now, they are the biggest pain in the neck to get approved. It took me 3 months.
I heard that.
3 months. I had to literally go to Staples and fax because they didn't want to take an electronic fax. They wanted the with the paper coming out for them to get this for their back office. Now, they did one thing that was super cool and banks don't do. They gave me a very low limit. They gave me like $3,000. But I have a Barclays JetBlue card. They let me move money from my personal card from JetBlue over to the business card when I was going away last year. Not many banks do that. They don't let you mix personal and business when you're trying to move the money within. And they let me do it. So to me, the most slept on is the Wyndham Business Earners. They offer a lot for a little.
And you know what's funny is I don't think I've ever heard anybody complain about the card. They just complain about the application process. I think anybody I know of that has that card, they love the card. It's just dealing with the approval process of getting the card that a lot of people don't really like. But ours is an excellent card. I'm just afraid to mess with Barclays, so you know how that goes.
Filmo is saying that right now. He's like sitting in Barclays waiting room. It's legit. It's legit that. Like, I was so tired of calling the back office that they called it. But then finally they approved me, you know, but it's worth it. I'm going to be straight up with you. It is an amazing hotel card. And you also get 8 times per dollar on gas.
Oh, wow.
And 5 times on utilities, including internet, light. That, bro, it's not bad.
Yeah,
so
now, we done all made mistakes with credit cards.
Yes.
Tell us about a credit card mistake that you made and what you learned from it.
Okay, is everybody paying attention out there? Because I'm really I'm gonna be so dead ass on this one. Not many people know. I had in 2013, I owed American Express Gold something like $28,000. Right? So back then, they had that pay over time. So I let that rock and continue to get interest and continue to get interest. And then I realized, and this is going to shock some people, I realized from 2003 to 2013, I spent $276,000 on that gold card. So here's what happened. I couldn't breathe. I was sending Amex $1,500 a month playing catch up, and it would never go down. So I say this to tell everybody there that thinks that when I say certain things, I'm being 100 with you guys here. I had to consolidate all my bills. I went to one of those consolidation companies, and I had to cut all my cards. Amex refused to negotiate with them the terms, so they only negotiated with them the charge part. The pay over time, they said I was late on, which wasn't true. And they gave me my first and only late payment ever in 30-something years of working. So I X'd Amex out until I got the platinum again.
Wow. Now that's a story right there, brother.
It is the truth. It is the truth
right there.
And if you ask me, and I'm seeing the, you know, and I don't mean this with no disrespect, but for everybody out there that's younger than 40, don't do what I did. Because in 2013, I was already 40 years old, 39, gonna be 40. And I was done. What am I saying? 39 gonna be 40. No, BS. I was 46. So imagine being 46 and being in a hole where I couldn't remember what I bought. How can you never? That's like buying a house on a credit card. $276,000. And then I didn't know anything about reward points. I didn't know anything, bro.
Right.
They ate those points. They took them and ran. They just deaded me.
That's true. We're going to get into something a little bit brighter now.
Yeah, give me some sun here. Give me some sun.
Hey, look, first thing I want to say is we doing it double today, right after this live.
Yo, that came out wrong. That came out wrong, Sledge.
We doing it.
We're doing it twice.
we doing it twice. Me and Joe is gonna be on live with Chad Money Minutes, JP Buffett, and Darius Jamal at 8:15 p.m. So as soon as we go from here, we going to there. But anyway, back to sales. At one point, you earned over 2 million credit card points in 11 months. Mm-hmm. Man, can you share that strategy with us? Because I want to know.
So, yeah. And ironically, and I've used a lot of points, I'm at 2.3 million right now. Ooh. And the reason was last year I applied for 15 cards and I hit the big bonuses. And I had people, I got 1099 from Amex and Chase from all the referrals I had. So the real earners for me were Chase and Amex, where each of them I hit over 700,000, points in their currencies. But then that also included 300,000 or more points in Hilton, the same with Marriott, the same with Hyatt, the same with Wyndham. What else did I have out there? I'm trying to think of. Oh, JetBlue. I had like 350,000 miles. United, I had 250. So I was just firing on all cylinders. But I'm not gonna lie, it was stressful. I was pulling my hair at some point because there was one point last fall that I was meeting to spend on 3 cards and it totaled $23,000. That was the Inc. Preferred, the United Business Card, and the Amex Business Gold. And the only way I was able to meet it was by paying everybody's debts. And just, I was asking people, bro. I was like those guys in on Broadway, the dirty Superman and the dirty Spider-Man that are out there, and the Mickey Mouse with one white glove and one black glove, because they're just fake and begging for money. That was me, like, yo, I'll pay your bill. Yo, I don't care if I have a fee. I'm gonna pay your car payment. I'm gonna pay your interest. I'm gonna pay your property taxes. I'm gonna pay, and I just paid them. So especially here in Jersey, my sisters and me and my tax, we just did it August 1st. Her taxes are $3,500 a quarter, and mine are $2,500. 6 G's right there.
All right.
So I was timing out my cards to when I knew the bills were going to hit, because then Florida's taxes came in and hit me. So I was able to lump them all together, So, and then at that point I was using which I don't advise anybody to do this, but I was using plastic to make payments, even to my long guy, which is like $300 a month. So even though I paid a little bit of a fee, but to make the sub, I had to do it.
Right. Yeah, anybody that don't know what plastic is, it's basically just a platform that lets you use credit card to pretty much pay anything. Well, I don't think that I think it's not as useful as it used to be.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but at one time you could pretty much pay anything with plastic that you couldn't pay with a credit card. You could pay it with a credit card.
Yep.
But they definitely still around.
Yeah, but I
No,
don't think like Amex. I don't think you could use Amex anymore.
no,
There's a lot of cards. They limited them to who you could use.
yeah, yeah. I'm not even sure if you can use Visa anymore on there.
No.
Yeah. Now, you interview some bank managers,
Hmm.
Capital One, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citi. How willing were those bank managers to freely give you information about their future products?
And this is where I use my journalism skills. I would go in, no appointment. I didn't have accounts at that point with Wells or Capital One. I had with Citi and Chase. Um, Bank of America either. Didn't have an account. I have my mortgage with them, but not a savings or anything else. So I would sit there, see everybody that they interacted with first, and take notes, like physical notes. And then I would just ask to speak to the branch manager or vice president, whoever was there. And I introduced myself as a local guy that was looking to help the people in the neighborhood find out what services the bank can offer them and what products they had. And once they sat down with me, I knew I had them. And there was nothing out of pocket. Like they were so welcoming. Because if you think about it, I'm actually doing them a favor
Yeah, for sure.
because I'm telling them, I saw how you interacted with that woman that didn't know how to open an account and she didn't speak Spanish, she didn't speak English. So you got somebody to speak Spanish to her. I said, that's amazing to see. Or this other guy who just became a legal resident and wanted to open up a business and he didn't know how to go about it. And they got him someone to help open up a business. So once you get them comfortable, everything is on the table, and they were kind. And to be honest with you, what I loved even more was that all the information they gave me was right on point. They gave me the heads up on the Wells on the Wells Journey card. They gave me the heads up on the City Strata card. They just gave me the heads up again on the Elite when it should be coming out later this fall into winter. Capital One was brutally honest, where you can't handle your credit card business in house. It has to be online or over the phone.
Right.
So I learned a lot by going into the branches. I learned like Bank of America has their setup on Smash, where you go from savings, checking to Merrill Lynch all under one roof, and you keep the business moving there. And then they do special outreach to on weekends so that people could come in branch and get help. So that's why I was doing that.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now, do you plan on ever doing any follow-up visits or visiting any different banks?
So I have, and it's just a little bit of nuttiness. I want to go to US Bank. I found an office, but not an actual branch. But there's an office in a building here in Hackensack for US Bank. I want to go speak to them because that's a card that a lot of people like to talk about, but not much is known because you really can't get your hands on it, right?
Right.
So US Bank is one. I have TD Bank that I'm going to go meet with, and Columbia Bank because one of my former students just became their VP. So that's an easy in. So I try to also deal with if I know someone within a certain system to find out the information.
That's what's up.
So I'm going to continue to do that because people like it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, being somebody that makes credit card content, in your opinion, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that your viewers or people in general have about credit cards?
I thought you were coming at me with a different question. That's why I was laughing. They think that credit is evil, which a lot of Spanish people do because that's what we're taught when we're young. I was, right? That credit is bad. You shouldn't do credit. Meanwhile, you can't even pay with cash in a lot of places nowadays. So much for that. And that getting into credit is automatically going to make you go into debt. They don't know how to use it the way it's intended. Credit should be a tool that you control, not the other way around. And for content, I tell them I don't know it all. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to try to get you the answer. I don't pretend to know anything of all, So
For sure.
I I tell them, look, this is to the best of my ability, to the what I know, to what I've done and used. And that's why I like only speaking about the products that I've used and done, as opposed to something that I just read online or that I heard from somebody else, because there's some people out there, content creators, that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I hear the out of pocket stuff they tell people, and I'm like, how is this even allowed to go online? Like, how are they able to do that? But
hey, freedom of speech. Now we about to get to the fun part.
uh-huh.
All right. Ag Sebi and Mark Reese are going live at the exact same time. You can only watch one. Which one do you watch and why?
Sebi, I would watch for this because I used to watch Mark Reese a lot, and I don't know what happened lately. It's just different. His videos are different, and he's almost like, I can't take him as serious as I used to. I guess maybe that's it. And it's not a knock on him. I don't know if it's that. I'll be honest with you. I think it's when he pushes a product that's sponsoring that throws me, because it looks like a whole other person. Sebi's more direct. What you see is what you get, right? I know he did his homework, and I've yet to really get anything that wasn't, almost spot on. No one's perfect, but, so I would go with him.
I got to correct you on one thing. You said he did his homework, man. He did his research, man.
Oh, there you go.
Make sure you pick up that SledgeIncTeam.
My bad. I see. You're right.
Shameless plug on that one. All right. Now, the next one is not a question. It's more of a scenario.
Go ahead.
You in a bar and a bar fight breaks out. Which two credit card content creators do you want with you and why? And neither one of them can be me.
That's easy. That's a question?
That's a question.
Come on. First and foremost, my man Chad. Bro, when I gave that man a hug, it was like hugging an oak tree that was 150 years old. Big, strong.
You froze up a little bit. Who was it?
So, Chad, it would be Chad, because when he's like built like an oak tree, bro. He's like solid, He's like that tree that has 150 rings inside of it. Chad is the man. So I'd have Chad, right? So here's the cool thing. I'd have Chad as like that menacing figure, and then the other menacing figure that's a little shorter would be Cesar coming in through, because I know homie knows how to box, and he was in the military too. It's a wrap. I don't even have to sweat. They got me 100% covered. I could have a look. Matter of fact, I could be chilling in the back like this. Be like, go ahead, guys, call me when it's done. And that's it. But if you were there, if you were included, you'd be on my squad. I know it.
Hey, you wouldn't even have to ask me, but what's funny is those are the two I picked too. Those are the two I picked too.
But who's a sleeper? Wait, who's a sleeper though?
Who that?
Anthony. Because when I saw him in his tight little shirt, classic gold shirt in Florida, homie's packing some heat there. Homie's like, damn, you see?
Hey, it's a few guys I wouldn't be afraid to have with me. You know what I'm saying? CJ, it's a few guys. You know what I mean?
I see. Yo, they just said don't sleep on Josh, because Josh can make peace between countries.
Hey, you know what the reality is? You can't sleep on nobody.
No, hell no, bro. No.
You can't sleep on anybody, man. You never know. All right. Now I'm going to name 5 content creators, and you go describe them in one word.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Ready.
Calvin from 850 Club Credit.
Intelligent.
RJ Financial.
Huh. I have a few.
Only one.
No, but just one word, right?
One word.
Cool.
I can dig that. Jacob from Jacob's Points and Profits.
Okay, and I'm gonna have to explain what the word is. Chulo.
Go ahead.
Chulo is like, and I told them everybody, my students, my girls from school, that he was so cute, so good looking, so sweet. He looked so like they just wanted to squeeze his chin. Like he's just a cool, good looking, just cool guy. Like just a guy, just that guy. That he has the swag, that guy.
Okay.
So it's like a man crushing right now. Yeah, but yeah.
Michael Wong.
Whimsical.
You gotta explain that one to me, man.
Whimsical because Michael, I love the fact that he has all this freaking knowledge and he could pull off stuff and travel the globe and at the same time wear a Mario Brothers hat and go on a live and do like and like he doesn't take himself. And I love that about people when they don't take themselves seriously like that. That they're cool, they could just joke around and be cool and be themselves and lay back. But business is business. That's Michael.
All right, now don't get in trouble at home. Tasha from Major Change Group. I see you blushing.
How can
Terry
I
not
put
watching
this?
this.
I'm trying to think of the word. I would say fire. Because she walks the walk, she could talk it, she looks it, she owns it. And for me, that's fire.
I can dig that. I can dig that.
I'm fine. Fine too. Let's just throw that one out
there. All right, now.
See, and Anthony wrote fine as I said it. You.
Kate, I am not an influence, or Terry, I'm not influenced on either one of these guys. All right. Now, you've done a lot of collaboration videos, both live and recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the collaborations and guests that you've done collaborations with, who did you find the most interesting? And you can only pick one. No hard feelings here.
That's a damn good question. And this was out of pocket. Chase Yokoyama. Because when he came on, and mind you, everybody knows when I have people come on, unless it's somebody like you, Chad, or Anthony, that we've talked before and we're friends on offline, and I meet them that time, like right then and there. And Chase, his life, where he's from, how he carries himself, how he's just the most chill, laid back, but what you see is what you get kind of guy. Like when I invited him to come on, he said, only if you call me Papi on live, during the live. He goes, I just want you to call me that. And he'll text me. We text each other. He's like, yo, Papi, how you doing? Chase would be the one because not only does he give you the experiences that he's had and he's young,
right,
but he tells it in a way that's so relatable no matter what your age is. And you feel at ease. Like he was easy. And then he could take the jokes, man. I remember Sylvia, what Sylvia was in the chat. She was watching the live, and he ran off to get some water or something, but he came back wet. She was like, "Yo, Chase, did you take a shower?" And he was, so that was the running joke the rest of the night, you know. And that's what it is. It's just that. So I think for him, I didn't know him and I didn't expect it. But everybody has something different with them. Same with Stan. When I had Stan on, that wasn't the guy I see giving me the info. Stan did a wepa that came from the bottom of his feet, you know? So it's things like that. Like when I met you, and I think I've told you this, when I met you in Tampa and you walking over to me, I remember telling my wife, I said, I'm fangirling. This is Sledge, the guy I see on the screen. He's right there. Like when Chad came to meet me in the hotel, I went like this to see Chad up there. And then Chad goes, boy, you a big boy. I was like, yes. So, you know, it's things like that. And Cesar, you know, for a man from the island that served the country, you know, he's mysterious. There's still stuff with Cesar. He's like an onion. You got to keep peeling because you're never going to find out what's in the middle of that onion because there's so many layers to him. We're blessed with so many cool people here.
For sure, for sure. All right, now, before I ask the last question, I just want to throw it out there one more time. There's another live going on at 8:15 with Joe, Chaz Money Minutes, JP Buffett, Darius Jamal, and myself. So right after this, we transitioning over to another live. It starts at 8:15. You're not gonna want to miss that one because this one was all about interviewing and getting to know Joe. This one, the next one is gonna be Ask Us Anything. We have some topics and it's gonna be fun. And you know how it is when we get together and freestyle. So that's
Absolutely.
gonna be that. Now, the very last question I want to ask you, man. What are your social medias and how can everybody reach you?
Everybody
panic on the last question.
I got spared. Thank you. So my social media is funny. And the guys here, Anthony, more than anybody else, he goes, man, I can't believe you tell everybody all your crap. So on Instagram, it's Credit Card Connection. But my real Instagram, it's hilarious. It's LEL Silver Fox with 2 X's. So if you look up El Silver Fox, and it's because I gave myself that nickname when I started getting my grays. And you could tell I colored it because it's not as gray, right? But El Silver Fox. And on Facebook, it's Joseph Anthony. So, and on my email as well, you know, the Credit Card Connection at Gmail. And people know if they reach out to me, I give you my number on the Discord. I don't care. I'm open. If you Google my name, Joseph Anthony Barreto, New Jersey, there's pages of stuff on me. Where am I going to go? I can't hide, bro. You know, if you want to beat me up, just wait for me outside because you know where I live.
For sure.
But I appreciate that. I thought you were going to ask me hard questions, man. I'm grateful to you.
I took it easy on you, man.
You did. Man. You were kind to me. You were, because I was prepared. I was prepared to tell you who I unsubbed from. I was prepared.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. We still got 7 minutes. I was trying to cut it. I was trying to cut it short. Listen, we not going in. We still got 7. We still got 7 minutes.
All right.
If we can get this done in about 4 minutes. Listen, the question that I ask everybody who's ever been on Unfiltered, for the most part, is, you know, we all collaborate together. You know, we all support each other. But it's people that we grow from. You know what I mean? Like we grow away from. And some of those people, you know what I mean? Like we don't view their channel, we unsubscribe to them. And the question is, who are the credit card or content creators that you have unsubscribed from in this genre?
Okay. So the main one that I saw a lot early on, like I was telling you, when I first started watching, it was Ben Hedges and John Liang and these guys and Sebi, right? Or whoever YouTube threw at me. But Brian Jung, I'm done, because when he went into crypto and in doing these things, you know, and showing his lifestyle, and it was a flex. And then when he crapped all over the kid,
Yeah.
that kind of got to me. I didn't think that was cool. I know Chad ripped him publicly. So that was an easy one. Then there's another one that I was never a huge fan, but it was more of a caricature. And I'll probably catch some crap for this, but Mike, the credit card guy. And more than anything else, because at first it was very entertaining, but then when you mix entertainment with stuff that I could tell you really didn't do your homework, and I could tell you're gonna, if people are just follow you blindly like sheep, they're in trouble. I don't like that. Like, I have people, and actually like 2 or 3 of my students that were like, yo, B, this guy with the hat and the gold mic. And I said, I know exactly who it is. And they're like, he said if you write to your credit card issuer, to TransUnion, Equifax, and you send it in without signing your name, they have to delete the stuff off your scores. And I said, that's a lie. Like, you got to be kidding me. And when you look, he has 200 and something thousand subscribers.
Yeah, people love that info, bro.
And my thing is, I and I see Josh saying he's big on credit repair now. Yeah, but how are you going to repair my credit if you're telling people to lie on the paper and not sign it? How is that helping me?
It's not.
You get people that take you literally. It's wrong. It's a disservice. So those two, I unsubbed. Now there are people that I don't watch as often. That's like another step below. Kind of like, when when you do your video Sledge and you have your people that are on the bubble.
So, right. They got honorable mention.
Right. That's them. So we have people that roll the same stuff back. Like, how many times are you gonna tell me how to increase the amount of credit you can get on a card, and it's the same card? And then you send me emails with the same information. You're spitting the same thing back, bro, that you just told me 500 times. Yeah. Don't do that to me. So, that. So I'm a little bit pickier now with some of the people that I watch. There's some young ones out there that I watch, and I think I told you, Hutch's Hangout is this young kid that knows his stuff, and he actually will play back recordings he did calling the banks and doing this stuff. So I give him credit, but that's Hutch's Hangout. He's a cool dude, so, and then I have like Diana Plays. There's no women really in this space. I like her material, so I just think that she comes from a different place. She does more banking stuff and more of like that kind of, not just credit cards per se, but she has the pedigree. She has the businesses and stuff for it. So I give her credit. She's young. She's a female. Looks Latina to me. So for me, if you could help out our people, knock yourself out. That's even better.
Hey, she did a raffle when I won a $50 gift card on her channel. So she always good with me. But hey, look, y'all. We about to transition over to that other live. Me, Chad, Joe, Darius, and JP. We will be over there in a second. Joe, you got any final words before we get up out of here?
I love you guys, Sledge. I love you. I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks, my brother.
For sure.
It's on. I will see you in 10 seconds when I pop out of this and pop into the next one.
Hey, look, if y'all been here for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and half an hour, rock with us the whole time. We appreciate you for being here. But go over to that other live. We out.
Come on over.